How about we just go into the first topic,
Yes.
which is the mystery of the rune. Where is the rune? What is the rune? What's going on? Is it, in fact, Kargath Blade Fists? I don't know why, for whatever reason,
Kargath Blade
I
Fist?
could not have said that in a more, dorky way. But is it? Because there is another side to this whole thing, where I saw people pointing out that if you look at Lords of War...
Oh my god.
Yeah, so...
We'll get to that.
Yeah, you may
here we are,
think
yes.
that there is all wibbly-wobbly craziness with this.
Yeah.
Yes, there's what else. Oh, no, there we go. Yeah,
Yeah,
the one thing is there.
Yeah,
This will be
so
fun.
this icon could mean a lot of things, right? Obviously, we'll come back to the release time. We'll focus on the mysterious things, which are the color change, which we already talked about very briefly on Wednesday. Another icon, which we kind of were like, what's the icon? It looks like a hearthstone, a hearthstone or a house stone
Looks
or a home
like
stone.
one of those
Yeah.
Swiss houses that are notably triangular.
Yes, and then Ellie goes, all right, well, it's actually on a map, and it's actually right over Northrend, because the Broken Isles are peeking out in the corner here. Okay, well, that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, so just as you're watching this, if you look at the rightmost image there, you can see the outline. So yeah, she kind of lined it up. That's what we're dealing with.
Like
apparently.
that's obviously that's kind of Old War up there, basically.
Yeah.
So you're like, okay, that's an interesting place for that. What could that mean? Who knows?
People could just say, oh, they just found a texture and used the texture. But there are loads of textures that you could use for that paper asset that are not the map, but still look like parchment, right? Even when they're making something like that, it's not some flat file. It's going to be in Photoshop with all of its layers. So if they are putting something there, especially knowing that it's a roadmap and it will be looked at in detail by people, I think this is obviously teasing.
Yeah.
So you look at all of this.
Just what is the question?
Now you immediately look at that and think, it looks like a house. And the house is, it's got its little door.
There's a door, and there's the
little triangular roof.
Rest of the house, it's imagine a wee, thatched cottage roof kind of thing going on. Or a hole in a mountain that's your cave, not a square house with, 4 windows like the children draw.
Absolutely. Cutting edge analysis. So they put that there, and you do immediately look at it and think, okay, well, housing's on our roadmap. Why is it on a roadmap before the expansion comes out, if this does refer to a house? And the obvious answer to that, and one that would allow for Q4 earnings, because we all, of course, the reason why we all celebrate everything on you've got your Hanukkah and you've got your Christmas and all the other things, it's because we're celebrating Q4.
Yeah.
And that's why we celebrate it on the 25th, because we want that strong final spurt in the quarter, especially with the Boxing Day sales, so that we can save our society. That's why I do all the shit with the tree, right? So you think of that and you think, how do we make line go up? Obviously, you give people access to the player housing. You put
the big money maker
pre-order
over here
bonus
as a pre-order bonus, and then you get everything else. All of your finance results here are line up, and you don't get thrown out the window.
Exactly. Makes complete sense. And we do know that they have certainly got pressure to make World of Warcraft perform on that. Phil Spencer did actually say he is bullish on WoW.
He did, which is hilarious because I'm bearish on Phil, but that's a different kettle of fish entirely, I think. We'll not talk about Xbox too much, except when we will talk about Xbox, but that's for different reasons.
Which I suppose means, good job, Holly. You've got control of Spencer. Now you need to wield him to our will. Anyway, so all of those things seem to line up. You then look at this and think, why is that house over Northrend? Why is it over Northrend?
But Northrend's being in the Last Titan revamped.
Well, there you go. That's a little bit weird. So some people have looked at this and thought, oh, is this teasing that there's a homestead in Northrend, that it's something like that?
Yeah.
At least that's what was in my head. I'm not exactly sure.
Again, for balance. It could be that they went, we want a map texture for this banner, and that'll be fun. We have a thing, it's like a triangle. Northrend's like a triangle, it'll cover it up and it'll fit real nice, it'll look like an island on the thing. It could be telling us that our homes will be islands. It could also be telling us that. because Northrend is an island, as well as Northrend. Obviously, it's not. Northrend is an island, but is a continent an island? Is Northrend an island?
Well, I don't really think we understand currently the plate tectonics.
Yeah.
So, obviously we've got Warcraft Chronicle. What we really need is, Warcraft geology. Blizzard wants to get another product so that we can consume next product. Hopefully, perhaps by Christmas 26, so we can celebrate Q4 properly. That would be fantastic.
That'd be great. I would sit around the fire, ignoring my family to read World of Warcraft geology. Wonderful.
Good man.
Fantastic.
Or could it in fact be the Blade Fist clan? That's the ogres. That's the ogres.
Yeah, it's the ogres. Because the ogres have this, which is not the same at all.
Yes, it is actually different.
It's literally very different, but it is also just a triangle shape. It's just slightly, very, in fact, horrendously wrong. Completely not even remotely there.
I think it turns out...
the concept of someone saying it's WoD Remix because of a triangle is really funny.
I love it. Turns out, for all of human history, we've all drawn that cool S that everybody drew in primary school because it's an obvious way to make lines connect.
Yes.
Then the other thing is we can take a look at various different Hearthstones.
Yeah, they're all squiggly swirkles mostly, except for this one.
Yeah.
Which is different.
Fascinating.
Biting analysis. Oh, this one's the Kieran Tor symbol on it. God rest their souls. But a homestone. Could it be a homestone? Could it be... There's so many
homestone.
There's so many things that's genuinely kind of... What did they mean by this is a question we don't have an answer to. We've got a lot of potential answers, but none of them are dialed in enough to be the case. It could be I'm now leaning towards island homes because that'll let you get a lot of customization of your home in a bunch of ways.
Do you think they'd actually go that big? Give us the outside as well. You're thinking FF. Yeah. Yeah, okay. No, of course. I mean, of course it'd be the outside. The house has got an outside.
Yeah,
what am I talking about?
I'm thinking you probably want to get closer to kind of Animal Crossing or what was it Dondogo Island? What was the island called in the Yakuza in Like a Dragon? That island that had a big thing.
Yes.
Obviously, it's not going to be all industrial, but I have a big feel like that thing is definitely an island home. That's my read.
Oh, of course, because Northrend could mean nothing, and the point there is just
it's an island on a map.
It's an island on a map.
Yeah, that's what I'm feeling.
Oh my god, you've hit the obvious.
Yeah.
Well done.
I mean, I don't think it's that obvious, but I think it's more likely than an island on or a home on Northrend if they're going to revamp it in expansion later. If you follow, at least that's what I'm thinking anyway. It's obviously very little to do with that, but also God knows maybe they just did it wrong. So that's one of the mysteries. One of the mysteries down is what's the icon, and we've just sorted it out. It's an island home. Obviously, you have
perfect.
It's player islanding.
Next mystery.
What's the green?
What's the green?
It's Legion Remix.
There we go. Done. Solved.
Very good.
That was a great segment. I loved our analysis. I think those were some of our best ideas.
Yes.
Our entire plan is look at the texture, look at the color, green. There you go. Yeah. Done. Sounds good.
It's not
Makes
even.
sense.
Yeah, it's the texture more than the color, but obviously the color. I immediately see what it is very specifically. I look at that specific. I don't know how well this is actually showing up on stream because of compression on YouTube and stuff, but there's a gradation there that looks a little bit cliff facey in lighting wise, and it looks to me. It reminds me of the Demon Hunter ability Fell Eruption.
Oh, do you know what it reminds me of?
What?
Illidan's crystal. Illidan's big green crystal.
Oh, yeah.
At least more towards the right.
Yeah, over there. Yeah, this bit specifically to me, in my brain just goes Fell Eruption.
Yeah.
And that's where all the colors are. All the colors are.
So.
I see. Oh, I see.
Oh.
I see. Here's one thing. Apparently.
What does he see?
Apparently. People are saying that Ian, in one of the interviews, called that color Legion Green, and apparently, now we were very hyper focused on this being Northrend, but it could be that this is the remix symbol, the time bronze hearth, time magic sandy thing.
Could be,
and that this is actually the point that this we're supposed to look at is here, the Broken Isles bit, and that's a double 1-2. It's Legion.
He double tease.
Yeah, a tease it's in 2 parts because it's a bit weird. I thought it was 2 quite distinctly, but it could be the one tease
Yeah.
Legion remix. It could be nothing to do with the housing being on an island. But who knows?
But Matt, what about Q4?
What about Q4?
Either way, I'm happy, and I think
Yes.
this stuff is good news.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've solved the mysteries then. Or are there any other
mysteries.
mysteries?
No, those are the big mysteries. Those
Okay.
are the mysteries. There's the icon and the coloration. We do, however, have a roadmap to look at in general, because people have mapped it out.
Yeah,
It's
I think
kind
that's
of nuts.
roughly the same maths that I did in the video that we
Yeah.
published. I think what I did do is I took an extra 1 to 2 weeks for January
Yeah.
because I know that they've got the 8-week timing. So I was just trying to make it be vaguely feasible. Anyway, this is also this is pretty good. Either way, like you're just shifting the whole thing left or right by 1 or 2 weeks. So basically, December 17th, confirmed, new patch. This is saying January 7th for Plunderstorm.
Yes, and
Very good. Actually,
because there's no source on this, I'm assuming
could be our own.
our Dacor's made it based on all of this.
Yeah.
That's what he was doing. Very good. Very good. So yes, this is officially ours.
So Plunderstorm is currently listed as running January 21st to 24th on the PTR.
Yes.
Turbulent Timeways is listed as January 7th on the PTR, but we know that is going to start December 17th, which is 3 weeks earlier, so I think he's then shifting it backward. That will be really good. I would say, though, I would love to celebrate the end of Q4 by earning lots of plunder to spend in the Plunder store. So, hey, if you could have that line up with the Christmas holidays, Blizzard, I'd be happy. Okay, after that, then we got patch 11.1, February the 11th, 2025. Yep, I'd say that's pretty much bang on. Could be a week or two later, don't exactly know, but that's when we're going to be getting the Undermined patch. Then 8 weeks after that, April the 8th is when we get the return of Horrific Visions. Very excited, and whatever the hell Nightfall is. Then 0.7, 8 weeks later, patch 11.2 at the end of July, which then teases up for Midnight to be revealed sometime. So, Dacor has late August, early September. The one event they would do that at is Gamescom, and Gamescom opening night live, I believe, is the 19th of August, 2025. And the
Is
event...
that confirmed already?
I
know it's around those. It's always that like last period of time.
Generally they do get the dates out fairly early because a lot of companies will be booking their travel for their staff way in advance.
You're correct. Because Gamescom is 20th to 24th, which means ONL is 19th.
Because if you do not book your Gamescom accommodation early, you could basically end up paying for €350 a night for a Holiday Inn, which would not be good.
Sweet Mary.
Right. So I would imagine August 19th.
Yeah, it'll be the
opening
ONL.
night live.
They have this way. They have this way.
And then a direct afterwards. The following day.
Yeah, that's most
Something
likely
like that.
because
I think XCOM? Wow. They're going to be at Gamescom too. We'll find out about the aliens. Xbox, I believe, do their own stream at Gamescom. I think they did last time.
Yeah.
So there's that. Then 11.25, going to be the end of September, pretty much actually in line with Season 1 of this, of The War Within, right? Then 11.27, November 18th, Legion Remix, end of November, which kind of makes sense. Midnight pre-patch, February, Midnight expansion launch, March 10th, 2026, which would be exactly 16 weeks before the release of patch 10.2.7 on The War Within, which would basically suggest a similar cadence. That would fit Blizzard's overall time span that has the whole sort of World Soul saga of expansions conclude, which means patch 12.3/12.2.7, whatever it ends up being, happening before 2030. We've worked it all out.
Yeah, so obviously it's worth saying that this is likely the same dates they have written down in pencil. I assume they have 17th down in pen. They're going to have maybe the January and February and maybe even April stuff down in pen. Obviously the Midnight reveal is going to be fixed. Yeah. Everything else I think is, at least I hope, everything is in pencil so they can push a week or push a couple weeks, because With 11.0.7 looking
Whoops.
fine.
Holly accidentally used the Sharpie. Guess we'll have to ship it.
Yeah, but you know what I mean, obviously. So I think with 11.0.7 looking fine in terms of there's no big class changes coming in, so we're not going to have a big balance issue. Seriously, Circlet may be horribly balanced, but well, you know.
No, man, it'll be perfect.
That could be on PTR for 6 years and still ship unbalanced.
I have just bet 100 grand on Polymarket that it will be a well-balanced game feature.
Fantastic. Perfect. Excellent. So I think that we need to be careful not to too quickly forget 11.0.5
Yes.
happened. I
Bigly.
think they were there very quickly to go, and the next one's the PTR. Let's move on. And obviously the anniversary event was extra work in that patch that we didn't expect. Obviously there was a full ass extra raid in there. There's a lot of kind of different things happening. And I think that I hope that the rest are in pencil so we don't, because I wouldn't want to have this like grand plan for World of Warcraft's victory and them all just march ahead without worrying about it. I'd much rather them actually give more time for things if they need it and all that kind of stuff. But that's likely their plan as much as it is what we have here. It's that kind of 8 weeks. They have like managed 8 weeks consistently, not to the best effect, obviously, but they've done it consistently. And if they're sticking to the 8 weeks, then obviously when it comes to our patch is kind of bad. What do we do with the next patch? What if we make it take longer? So we say 9 weeks, 10 weeks, whatever. They could just as easily say, no, 8 weeks. But we still have to make it work. So you pull the scope of the patch down a little bit, a small degree, just a tiny little bit, to kind of go, okay, well, maybe we'll bump, just like they actually did with 11.0.7 here, because they bumped back the profession respec thing.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah, and that's a case of, well, do we push the patch to put this in? No, we just deliver it in the next patch. And I think that's the safer way of having fallbacks, because it's not really the issue. And yeah, that's a good comment on BRD being kind of botched because it was a terribly tuned raid. That's like they're kind of botching it. They botched when they stepped out of line. Realistically, I think that seems to be the general energy. This is as far as the image they're projecting to a degree, especially with how 7 looks kind of fine. And the way they're bombing ahead without stopping and going, oh shit, we have to change everything. Not that I'd expect that, but it seems like they're happy to suggest it's an outlier. So we'll have to keep our eyes open to make sure it is an outlier. So hopefully, if 11.07 goes fine and 11.1 launches in decent shape, then we can kind of go, okay, well, the plan is still good. It just takes us a little bit of working around to get the plan being good.
Yeah.
Being good. But that is roadmap. Now,
Okay, secret solved.